and welcome to episode 7 of the Knitty Heather podcast. My name is Heather and I'm coming to you from Kent, Washington, where I live with my husband and our Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, Pepper. This is my podcast where I talk about all my knitting adventures and everything I learn along the way that I love to share with you all. If you're a new viewer, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm glad you found me. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate all the support for my channel. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I would love to connect with you there. I am at Knitty Heather. I always love seeing what everybody's up to on Instagram. And anything that I talk about with yarn or patterns or accessories will be linked in the description box below. Today is Wednesday, August 19th, and I have a lot to tell you about. Let's get started. Today I am wearing my Jonna cowl by Carolyn, Kern. I used Quince & Company Chickadee, which is a sport weight yarn in the colorway Brainy. This was a really interesting lacy cowl. You do 3 pattern repeats, starting with a size 4, then moving on to a size 6, and then moving on to a size 7, which kind of creates almost a trapezoid shape that kind of increases as you go down the neckline. I think it's very wearable and flattering. This is a very fun cowl. As you can see, it also has a picot edge on the top and the bottom. I did that by, she has you cast on with a provisional cast on, bind off with a special picot bind off, and then pick back up your provisional cast on and do the picot bind off on your cast on edge as well. So it just gives it a nice little touch. I really enjoy this. I've had it done for over a year now and I absolutely love it. This Quince & Company Chickadee is 100% wool, very warm and cozy.
Today I am also wearing my rainbow socks using the colorway Rainbow from Knit Picks
in their self-striping Felici line.
This was just a plain vanilla sock that I did using German short row toes and heels. I did the white heel in Stroll fingering as well. This was toe up using German short row toes and heels. And I started with the red and ended with the purple, of course, to make a nice complete rainbow.
I'd like to begin by telling you about some retail therapy that I've been having recently. We have been doing a lot of road tripping this summer, and so I've been able to stop by a couple new yarn stores that I'd never been to before. The first was called Yarn Folk in Ellensburg, Washington, and there what I got were 2 skeins of candy skein yarn. This colorway is called Brain Freeze. And this colorway is called Unicorn Gumball. This base is an 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And it feels so squishy. I really like how these 2 colors are gonna go together. I think they will work very well. And I'm going to put them together to make the Breathe and Hope shawl by Casapinka, I think is my plan for these guys. And then we also went up to Bellingham, Washington recently, and there they have a really nice yarn store called Apple Yarns, and they have their own house blend called Apple Fiber Studio. I got some yarn to make the Girls from the Grocery Store shawl by Joji Locatelli. So these are the colors I got. This is a 60% merino, 20% alpaca, and 20% nylon base, and that should make for a really nice cozy shawl. This colorway is called Basil. And this colorway is called Salmon Run. And so I'm going to use this as the main color and then this as kind of the pretty edge. And I think that might make a really nice fall shawl. I don't know when I'll actually cast it on, but I would like to make the Girls from the Grocery Store by Joji Locatelli with these. Big thanks to Yarn Folk in Ellensburg and Apple Yarns in Bellingham. They were both so nice and had such beautiful yarns. If you are ever in either of those 2 cities, please check them out. Now to start start with some finished objects. I have 3 pairs of socks and then 2 shawls and 1 cowl to tell you about today. First off, my July Desert Vista Dyeworks. These are in the colorway Monopoly. I really love these new sock blockers I got. She monogrammed them for me. These are from Vicky of D19 Eco-Friendly Life on Etsy. I believe she's in the Ukraine, and I just love how these look. I've never had a wooden pair of sock blockers before. And the really cool thing about these is she has a special attachment where you can adjust the foot size. I'll insert a picture so you can see what I'm talking about. But these are my July Desert Vista Dyeworks socks in the colorway Monopoly. I did a vanilla sock, toe up. I used the toe from Mina Phillip, the Knitting Expat, the last few patterns of hers that I've done, which is more of a rounded toe. I started with the purple color and ended with the blue color. I wanted to start with the first color on the board and end with the last color on the board. I just thought that would give it a nice finishing touch. And then I did an afterthought heel using the method from Susan B. Anderson's Smooth Operator socks. And as you can see, I cut it in the middle of this orange stripe and picked it back up with this orange, so it kind of gives it a really cool sort of target look, spirally look with the different circles. And I love how it ended up with the blue on that one as well. I think that looks really nice. This colorway is really special to me because it gave me lots of memories of playing Monopoly during the summer when my cousins would visit. We played for hours and hours, and I just really love the happy colors. Doing the afterthought heel, I think, gives it a really fun look. Next up are my Cozy Knitter socks from her Yarn of the Month Club. This is in the colorway My Friend Margaret. These are such really pretty subtle colors. As you can see, there's a pretty speckled stripe in these. I did these toe up with a Fish Lips Kiss heel and then 14 rounds of the cuff. I really love her kind of dusty rose mini that she included with this set. My trick with a striping pattern like this is to work up to where the stripe is in the repeat. So the contrasting mini matched this pink color. I worked up to where the pink color was in the main yarn, did 1 full round, and then attached my mini to do the ribbing. I do that because it creates a nice clean line. You don't want to start ribbing with a brand new color because then you'll see little breaks with the purl bumps. And so that's my strategy. If you don't want to do that, or if your mini doesn't match one of the stripes in your yarn, work 1 round of just plain stockinette and then start your ribbing. That way there'll be a nice clean line with your cuff. My last sock FO is from my Yarnable box by Hypnotic Yarn. This is in the colorway Boom Fizzle Pop. It's very perfect for July. Perfect color choice on her part, and I love how the white and red kind of spiraled, and then you see the pretty blue speckles in there. The pattern I did for this sock was the Go Your Own Way socks, Cuff Down by Stacy Winklepleck. I did 20 rounds of a 2x2 rib, and then did a slip stitch heel flap and gusset, and then sort of a modified rounded toe. I decreased, so I do a 64 stitch count on my socks, and so I decreased to 32 stitches by decreasing a round and then knitting a plain round. And then once I had 32 stitches, 16 on each needle, I do magic loop. Then I decreased every round until I got to 16 final stitches, 8 on each end of the needle before I did the Kitchener stitch for the toe. And it just kind of gave it a little more of a rounded effect. But I love how this yarn knit up. It's so beautiful. Next time I see my mother-in-law, I think I will bring these to see if they would fit her because her birthday is the 4th of July and I think she'd really love these. So we'll see. These might be gifted to her. Now on to my other FOs. First, I'd like to talk about my Christmas in July Advent projects. My birthday was in July, and so I treated myself to a couple different Christmas in July Advent sets. The first one was from Laura Concert of Lollipop Girl Yarns, and with hers, I actually used her pattern. This is the Sugar Pie Honey Bunch Shawl by Laura Concert. And there were 24 10-gram minis in this set. This pattern has 24 sections. You start off down here and then work all the way up. My last row was just very tiny with this orangey color. But each section was a little bit different. Some had eyelets in it. Some were kind of a plain stockinette with a garter ridge, but all kinds of fun colors, and I really love how they went together. I did do them in order, so every day I opened up her mini and knit whatever section for that day, and this is how it turned out. I did recently do a video on blocking this and then a couple other shawls I'll talk about in a minute, so if you're interested in hearing about how I blocked those, definitely check that video out. Next is the Land of Sweets Cowl by Helen Stewart. I did this using Christy of Yarn Cafe Creations' My Little Pony, A Very Minty Christmas Advent. This also has 24 little sections for the 24 days. Her Advent gave me 24 20-gram minis. And then both Laura and Christy's Advents had a full 100-gram skein of beautiful yarn. I'll insert some pictures here for day 25. So that was really kind of exciting. I started down here with this color. And as you can see in this one too, some of these sections have pretty eyelet lacy sections. And then some kind of have more textured. And some are just plain stockinette. So it all comes together to make just a really pretty fun cowl that will go with a lot of different things. This should go with just about any neutral color top, I would think, and be a fun little accessory to add to those outfits. And I went in order of her minis as well. So down here was day 1, and then this was day 24 up here. Super fun project. I really recommend doing little scrappy Advent mini projects like this. They are a lot of fun and very rewarding to just chip away a little bit every day. And to have a new section and a new yarn every day is really fun too. Let me know in the comments below, do you have any other suggestions for good scrappy Advent projects? I'm planning on getting a few this Christmas, and so I'm really looking for ideas of what I can do with them. Let me know what you think. Last up, I participated in the Stillness Shawl Mystery Knit Along. This is a pattern also by Helen Stewart. She sent out the first clue at the end of June, and the last clue, I think there were 5 clues total. The last clue was sent out just a couple weeks ago. Here it is. It is a pie-shaped shawl with lots of pretty lacy and stripy sections. This was really fun to block out. It needed a lot of pins, but well worth the effort because it looks so nice now that it's freshly blocked. One other element that I really liked about this design is she had you do an I-cord edge, which really just gives it a nice finishing touch. And I really appreciate that it blocked out really well too when I was doing that. I think this is going to be so much fun to wear. And I've had so much fun seeing everybody's yarn combinations and how theirs have turned out on Instagram. I've been following the hashtag, and people, they're just so creative, and there's so many beautiful Stillness shawls out there. I'm super impressed with everyone who has done this, and they all look amazing. The yarn I chose for this project was from Knit Style Yarns, Sharon. This color was called Princess. This color is called Storybook. And this color was called Villain, a really pretty little kit that she put together, especially for the Stillness shawl. So I really love how those went together. This was a very interesting base. This is a 60% merino, 20% yak, 20% silk, which I never used yak before, and it was a dream to work with. It was very, very nice. So this was such a lovely project. Very happy with how it turned out, and I cannot recommend this pattern enough. The full thing is out now. Definitely check it out on Ravelry. You will enjoy it. Next up are my whips. I have 5 socks on the needles and then another mystery knit along to tell you about. Here are my August Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. This is in the colorway Gelato. This cute little ice cream progress keeper is from Suker Miniatures. I'm doing these 2 at a time, and I just did the Fish Lips Kiss heel on both of them. I started with a wedge toe with this blue color, and I love how the heel turned out. I was able to start it at the color break, and so it kind of turned out really symmetrical and beautiful. I love how that looks. So I will probably work up a couple more repeats. I'd like to end it with this blue color just to kind of give it a nice look, a finishing touch, but we'll see how long. I just have a little bit more to work up the leg with these, and I think these will turn out really nice. I love these happy, pretty, summery colors. I thought this was a good choice for the month of August. Let me know down below, what is your favorite flavor of gelato? I'm actually kind of just a plain, simple vanilla girl, or maybe a fruity flavor like strawberry. I am using my ChiaoGoo red lace needles. It is her 7525 Viso base. They're just super happy and giving me a lot of joy right now to knit up. Again, Desert Vista Dyeworks in the colorway Gelato. Next are my Cozy Knitter socks for the month. This is in the colorway Happy Day. She gave you a blue mini for the toes. And as you can see, I'm working up the foot a little bit. I will do a Fish Lips Kiss heel with this blue contrasting mini, and then keep working up the leg, and then probably use this blue for the cuff as well. Very nice bright colors. I love this color combination together with the blue and yellow and orange. This is another cute little progress keeper from Suker Miniatures, a little Fruit Loops bowl that makes me happy to see every time. Doing these 2 at a time, I started with Judy's Magic Cast On and another vanilla sock. I kind of wanted to keep things a little bit simple this month and do plain vanilla socks because I knew I'd be busy with all kinds of mystery knit-alongs and finishing my Advent projects and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of wanted to keep it a little simpler this month. These are my Nova Platina needles from Knitter's Pride, 40 inch for a 2 at a time. And these are really fast, smooth needles, especially with this yarn that I really can fly on these. So I really like this yarn and needle combination. Again, the Cozy Knitter, her Yarn of the Month Club in the colorway Happy Day. My next sock is my monthly Yarnable sock from Hypnotic Yarn. I actually already have one of these completed. This is in the colorway Beach Ball. I participated in Knitty Natty's Sock Week 2020, where you were challenged to complete a sock within 1 week, and this was the sock I did to participate in that. This pattern is called the Star-Toed Fleagle by Stacey Perry of Very Pink Knits, and you start at the toe. It's got a star toe, which is almost looks like how you would close up the top of a hat. You start with the pinhole cast on, and she has a very good tutorial for these socks on her website. Check her out, verypink.com, and she guides you through every single step because it is a little bit tricky starting with this pinhole cast on, but then you increase to enough stitches where it's much more manageable. Here is the Fleagle heel, which is fast becoming one of my favorite heels to do. It fits very nicely and there's a little bit of a gusset. And I do believe I did 10 rounds of 2x2 rib on the end of this one. And I'm working up the foot on the second sock. So I should finish these by the end of the month, I'm hoping. Super pretty colorway. I love this variegated style that she did this month. Here's the yarn in the cake, in case you're interested. Super pretty, super summery, very fun. Once again, this is Hypnotic yarn. This is the colorway Beach Ball, and it was from her last Yarnable box. My last two sock whips have not gotten quite as much love as I would have hoped these last few weeks, but I am almost done with the first sock in each of these pairs. I am trying to get a little bit of a head start on my fall and Halloween knitting, and so I chose some Halloween and fall colorways. This is Hocus Pocus by Scrumptious Pearl. This cute little Halloween cookie progress keeper is from Sweet Cherry on Etsy. I did a fish lips kiss heel on this and a wedge toe. She has a contrasting orange mini. Here's what it looks like in the cake. So I am ready to start the cuff on these. I did one round where it's completely the orange color, and then so I'll just add this on with I think 2x2 ribbing for maybe 10 or 12 rounds. This is pretty plump yarn, so I don't need too many rounds for the cuff. But once again, I did a full round in the main yarn before I'm going to attach this mini so that there'll be a nice clean break all around the whole sock. It should be done hopefully in the next day or two, and then I'll have to cast on the second one. Once again, this is Scrumptious Pearl in the Hocus Pocus colorway. Last but certainly not least is my Vanilla Latte socks using Dragon Hoard yarn in the Pumpkin King colorway. As you can see, there's some nice columns of pearl bumps to give it a little bit of texture and interest. I chose to do an Eye of Partridge heel on this one. You do a traditional heel flap and gusset, and I chose to do an Eye of Partridge heel flap. So this is a cuff down pattern, and I am working down the foot. I've got maybe about 20 more rounds of the foot. I am continuing the texture pattern down the front of the foot, but just leaving it plain stockinette along the bottom. This cute little ghost progress keeper is also from Sweet Cherry on Etsy. And I think this will be another great addition to my Halloween fall sock wardrobe. It is an 85-15, very, very soft, beautiful base. And I love how it's working up. The speckles and the variegation is very even. And it's knitting up very beautifully. This is Dragon Hoard yarn in the Pumpkin King colorway, and I'm doing the Vanilla Latte socks by Virginia Rose Johns. My final work in progress is another mystery knit along. I had so much fun doing the last mystery knit along that I had to join this next one. This is called The Sharon Show by Casa Pinka, and she is super witty, super funny. It's a pattern that is designed by her and her cat Sharon from Security, and so she's just really cute how she kind of has characterized her cat as Sharon from Security, and just has all kinds of fun, cute little comments in the pattern from the perspective of Sharon. So it's just kind of fun. It's been a very relaxing knit. I am through clue 1. I am almost done with clue 2. I don't want to spoil anything, so I will show a picture of what it looked like at the end of clue 1. And then hopefully that won't spoil anything for anyone. The first clue dropped on August 7th, and there will be a new clue coming out every Friday. I think there will be 6 clues total. So I am looking forward to clue number 3 to come out this Friday. I will, however, show you the colors I have chosen. This is Knit Pick Stroll in the colorway Grape. This is Knit Pick Stroll in the colorway Grape Speckle. This is Audine Wools by Knit Crate in the colorway Peony. And this last one is also Knit Pick Stroll in the Matcha colorway. So I think these four go super well together. Just kind of a nice fun combination. If you are interested in this pattern, she does recommend you not use too much of a variegated yarn. You want your colors to be distinct from each other in each section because there is quite a bit of play with each color, as you have seen from the picture of Clue 1 I just showed. So again, the Sharon show, super fun. Again, I am really enjoying seeing what everyone on Instagram, how theirs is turning out. Everybody has chosen such different color combinations and they're all so much fun. So I've really been enjoying following that hashtag as well. Mystery knit-alongs are so much fun. I highly encourage you to just try them out. If you're not familiar with the concept, the designer sends out clues for a different section of the pattern every week, and you don't know what it's going to do until you actually get it and start working through it. So it's just a lot of fun, and sometimes they'll give you tips about what it's going to look like and how to put the colors together. And all I really knew about this one was that it was going to be a rectangular shawl, and so that really interested me because I don't have very many rectangular shawls, and I just thought that would be an interesting shape to add to my shawl wardrobe. The Sharon Show by Casa Pinka, I highly recommend. If you're not familiar with her work, she's got a lot of other really good shawl patterns out there as well. Check her out on Ravelry. Comment down below, have you ever done a mystery knit along? And if so, which one was it and what did you think about it? Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I really appreciate it. Please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. That would really help me out. I love meeting new people in the virtual fiber world. So thank you to those of you who have reached out to me, liked and commented on any of my previous videos. That truly means the world to me. Please comment below with anything that you would like to know, or any ideas you have for future podcasts or little scraps. If you haven't seen any of my scraps before, I've kind of started another series of just smaller, shorter subject videos and content. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I am at Knitty Heather. And thanks again for watching. Until next time, be well, be kind, and happy knitting. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.